Welcome to the RECON Trader. In today's video, I will share with you my new fully automatic Fibonacci retracement indicator that I created over on TradingView. And if you're an FNG and you're not exactly sure how to draw in your Fibonacci retracement levels from swing high to low or low to high, this indicator will do that for you automatically. You just add it to your chart, it will find the pivot points and then drop in the Fibonacci levels for you. Now, if you're an OG like me and you get tired of having to redraw the levels when new pivot points are created, again, this indicator will do that for you automatically. In addition to, if you switch between time frames, say the daily candles to the 4-hour candles or the 1-hour candles, again, this indicator will adjust to the new pivot highs and pivot lows and drop in your Fibonacci levels. So with that all in mind, let's get right into the weeds. And we will start over here on the TradingView page for the RECON Trader Auto Fibonacci Retracement Indicator. And as you can see, I have the indicator added to the current Bitcoin chart, and we're looking at the daily candles. And the indicator has identified this pivot high, this pivot low back here, and dropped in the Fibonacci levels. And as you can see, Fibonacci levels are often utilized to identify resistance and support levels. For instance, over here on this current chart, you can see the 786 Fibonacci level acted as resistance back here and is now acting as resistance once again. And on the flip side, the 618 level back here, when 786 was resistance, the 618 was acting as support, and more recently you can see that 618 level was acting as support once again. And with that being said, besides just IDing support and resistance, it can also be utilized to identify breakout or breakdown points. So when you see the price of Bitcoin break down below the 786 level, that could be an opportunity to get short. You see a breakdown here and the price sells off. You see another breakdown here and the price sells off. And on the flip side back here, where you see the price of Bitcoin break above the 786 level, it does push on up. However, it does eventually run into resistance at 31,000. And so those are just a couple of examples how elite traders use Fibonacci levels. Now, if we scroll down, you can find a little more information about this actual indicator. Again, the Fibonacci retracement levels are created by connecting 2 points, typically a high point and a low point, thus generating horizontal lines based on the Fibonacci sequence. If you're not familiar with that is, Google it and you'll figure that out. That indicate where possible support and resistance levels might occur. Each level is associated with a percentage. The most commonly utilized Fibonacci retracement levels are the 23.6, the 38.2, the 61.8, and the 78.6. And you'll most frequently hear me refer to them as the 236, the 382, the 618, and the 786. But in addition to those Fibonacci levels, while it's not officially a Fibonacci level, I have included the 50% level as it is commonly referred to by most elite traders as well. And so again, I created this indicator to help automatically calculate those Fibonacci retracement levels to help identify possible support or resistance levels, also possible breakout levels. And so with that being said, you can actually set up alerts to be triggered based on the crossing of a specific fib level in either direction. So if the price crosses above, you might be looking at a breakout. If the price crosses below, you might be looking at the price breaking down. Now, before we move on, it is important to note that Fibonacci levels should not be relied on. It can be dangerous to assume that the price will reverse after hitting a specific level. And just like with any indicator, traders need to utilize caution and don't rely solely on one indicator. So with that out of the way, let's jump over to a chart and apply this indicator and see how it actually operates. And we can start over here on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart on the Binance exchange. If I come over here to my indicators list, scroll down through my indicators until I find the RECON Trader Auto Fibonacci Retracement. Give that a click, and the indicator has been added over here on the left hand side of the screen to the list of indicators I have applied to this chart. And right now you can see it's actually calculating the Fibonacci levels from this pivot point down to this lower pivot point. And that is based on the default settings for this indicator. If I come over here to the indicator and the little settings cog, give that a click, you'll find a variety of settings that you can customize to fit your trading strategy. In this case, the look back period is 30. I use that more like on the daily and the weekly charts. On a 4-hour chart, I'll probably cut that in half. Let's call it a 15 look back period. And so if I adjust that look back period to 15 from the 30, now instead of from the higher high to this lower low, it is now swinging from the lower low to this higher high. And now you can see the new Fibonacci levels dropped in. Now, something else I will change a lot of times depending on price action or direction is I will actually reverse these Fibonacci levels. You can see the 786 and the 618 are down here. I actually am going to flip or reverse that by ticking off the reverse option over here. And so that will reverse the Fibonacci levels. Again, now we can see the 618 and the 786 are up here. And you can see even on the 4-hour chart, the previous chart we were looking at was the daily candles, but on the 4-hour chart, the 618 level is still acting somewhat as support. And if you extend this line out, you can see that level in the past was actually resistance. It rejected here, and rejected here along that line. And so this could be a very strong level of support given that it was a prior level of resistance. A lot of times prior levels of support or resistance flip into the opposite of what they were. Now, as I mentioned before, if you want to add an alert, for instance, if the price was to dip down below the 618 level, perhaps Bitcoin is going to sell off because it is breaking that level of support. So you could come up here to the alert button, give that a click. And for the condition, you would actually select from the drop down here and select RECON Auto Fib Retracement, give that a click. And then you want to select which level you want to be alerted on. And in this case, we were looking at the 618 level. So we would scroll down here to the 618 level. And then you could have it notify you once per bar. And then under alert name, I could name this Fib Cross 618. And then the message is automatically populated. And so when I click create, that will create an alert over here under the alarm clock. You can see I now have the Fib cross 618. So anytime the price crosses above or below this 618 level, I will receive an alert, and then I might take a trade in this situation if the price was to cross below the 618 level and close. Remember, I selected the alert to fire off on the close of the candle, so if that candle closes below the 618, we could see Bitcoin's price continue to sell off, so I might take a short. Now, to give you an idea of how the automatic feature works, we can choose the replay button up here at the top, and then we can drag that back to, say, in this area here. And that has dropped in the new Fibonacci levels based on this higher high pivot and this higher low pivot. And if I hit play, you can see that it will adjust. We get a lower low and the levels automatically adjusted without me having to draw them. And again, it just adjusted from this lower low to a new lower high. And so as this plays out, you will see that these Fibonacci levels are adjusting accordingly to the new pivot points. There we went to a new higher high and a new lower low, new lower low, lower high. It's probably going to adjust up here, and it does. And now we're back to real time, and you can see the levels are from the lower low to the higher high. And so hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of how the automatic feature of this indicator actually works. I don't have to keep redrawing these levels based on new pivot points. So I think that's enough jaw-jacking for this video. If you actually want to add this indicator to your charts, it is a private indicator. You can see the lock right here by the name of the indicator. It's a private indicator, and you will actually need a link to this indicator to apply it to your charts, and that link will be available to my RECON Trader YouTube channel members only at this time. And as a RECON Trader YouTube channel member, you will actually have access to private videos that actually have the links in the description to my private indicators. So if you're not currently a member, all you need to do is jump over to the RECON Trader YouTube channel, click on the join button, and then after you join, that will open up access to all of the members only exclusive videos, which include the links to all my private indicators. Now I will continue to be creating customized TradingView indicators, so you might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss out on those videos in the future. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. And until next time, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.